Close to $2 million for rehabilitation of East Coast Road. Geothermal plant still on the cards for government, and new building system promises to be the best solution for rebuilding stronger. Hello and welcome to National Focus. I'm KIMANI. Stay tuned for details of the headline stories and others coming up.
I believe in the natural order of things. I believe in the harmony of things. You know, in everything we do, we have to keep it natural. I've been doing farming for now over a decade. My day is very hectic, but I make it light, you know, because I enjoy what I do. I enjoy producing the best quality goods and to make sure that the people that receive it, they receive the best that they can ever get. Right from the farm, everything that I grow, I process them back into the farm so that the same things that grow in the farm is what protects the farm. Tourism is my business. You know, it's not just dealing with the foreigners that come in, but it's preparing those things that when they come, they can feel and taste the difference in coming to this exotic island. And it starts with the farmer, because we provide the things that they eat, that they taste, that they drink. I believe in my heart that it's my responsibility to provide quality. My name is Tony Alves, and tourism is my business.
Welcome back, and now for the details. A project which will benefit the southeast of the island is in the design phase. The project to rehabilitate 43.3 kilometers of road, starting at the Pocasset roundabout to end at Petit Soufriere, will cost close to $2 million. This project will be executed by the Ministry of Health and Environment through the Disaster Vulnerability Reduction Project. A company from Spain, Técnica Proyectos S.A., or TIPSA, has been contracted for the pre-engineering and design phase of the project. TIPSA has been established for more than 50 years with over 2,500 employees in about 40 countries all over the world. However, this is their first project in Dominica. Health Liaison Officer in the Ministry of Health, Dr. Martin Christmas, represented the Honorable Minister for Health, Dr. Kenneth Daru, at a press briefing which was held at the Ministry of Finance conference room on Monday. Dr. Christmas noted that in keeping with DVRP's objective to reduce disaster vulnerability through investments in resilient infrastructure, the designs will be framed with mitigation and adaptation measures.
A combination of slope stabilization interventions, road realignments, and pavement construction. An initial assessment of the project area by our main project partners, the Ministry of Public Works and Ports, indicates serious vulnerability due to conditions which include heavy rainfall, which results in extreme flooding, severe landslides, rockfalls, slope and road edge failures. In this slide, the expectations from the Commonwealth of Dominica and its people are highly ambitious, especially given our most recent and noble goal to become the first climate resilient country in the world. As such, we have ensured that the approved standards for the road design would meet the highest standards of resilience and should ensure that once completed, the roads should have a functional life of at least 30 years.
This project is expected to be completed within 11 months and will benefit those living in that part of the island. It is against this backdrop that the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Planning, Gloria Joseph, says the ministry welcomes this project, one which is in sync with government's call to build back better and stronger.
From a planning perspective, we welcome the project. We know that this project will lead to many benefits, future benefits, as we seek to rebuild. Rebuilding not just in the old-fashioned way, but rebuilding with greater resilience in mind. We do hope that your skills and the expertise that you would showcase in that particular area would augur well for the rest of the country, where there are lots of other roadworks to be done, whether it is the culverting, or it is slope stabilization, or it is edge failures, or it is the resurfacing of roads. We realize that in Dominica, there's a lot to be done with the infrastructure. And so I would not take much more time, but to certainly on behalf of the Ministry of Planning, to welcome you here. And our efforts will be to work with the DVRP unit and the Ministry of Public Works, the Ministry of Health and the Environment, and all our other sister ministries to ensure that this project is a success.
Project Manager for TIPSA, Medina Alfonso, says he is grateful for the opportunity to partake in such an important undertaking. He says the company is looking forward to working with local subcontractors on the project.
We have a great respect of what you can teach us, the know-how that you have for your projects, because we are not here for implementing engineering design that maybe has been used in other countries, but maybe here it doesn't work. So we just want to adapt our work to the actual conditions and try to make proposals that may improve in some way what you already have.
Alfonso said the passage of Hurricane Maria gave a clear picture of the capacity of the roads on that part of the island. He says his company will do its best to build roads and bridges which are climate resilient. A site visit will be done to get a first-hand view of the work ahead. Also this news time, the construction of a 7-megawatt power plant is still on the cards for government. At a press briefing on Friday, the Honorable Minister for Energy, Ian Douglas, announced that representatives of the World Bank were on island to assess the damage done to the plant by Hurricane Maria and to discuss the steps which will be taken thereafter. Part of the delegation was the chairman of the Geothermal negotiating team, His Excellency Dr. Vince Henderson. His Excellency Henderson revealed that the geothermal development program is progressing satisfactorily despite the impact by Hurricane Maria. He noted that the partners who have come on board with this project have recommitted their support for its advancement.
The UK, DFID, continue to provide support to the geothermal power plant in the tune of £8.5 million. SIDSDOC funds have already been confirmed and approved and are with the World Bank. Our partners from New Zealand continue to provide technical support, financing for technical support, which allows us to develop the actual design of the plant and have provided us with a project manager from New Zealand, Mr. Mark Tompkins, who've been with us for the last few months. So DGDC basically continues to work to execute this project with the support of our technical partners.
Work on that plant should commence by the end of this year into early 2019 and should be completed by the year 2020.
Unfortunately, Maria intervened and it has pushed us 4 to 6 months down the road. But still, in light of the circumstances, that is amazing. Being able to deliver a plan by mid-2020 would be a great achievement for the government and people of Dominica. Because what we're seeing is that with the grant funding, the concessionary financing from the World Bank, we will be able to sell power to Domlec at a price that is much lower than the cost of producing power using diesel. And in addition to that, once we put online our battery storage being funded by the UAE through the UAE CREF, we'll do better because they will have to shut down a generator that is being used for backup spinning reserves. And therefore, once we remove that from the equation as well, we will see a further reduction in the consumption of diesel and hence a reduction in the price of electricity.
Representative of the World Bank, Elvira Morella, says the bank is proud to support this project and is also pleased to work with government.
We are proud to be a key supporter of the government of Dominica in the overall resilience agenda and especially the Build Back agenda. We have noticed some progress made in the recovery of the power sector, which we very much support. The conditions for the geothermal program have not significantly changed because of little damages that geothermal assets have had. So let me just explain you briefly what this project is about. So first and foremost, it entails construction of a 7 megawatt geothermal power plant and associated above ground infrastructure. But the project designed by the bank in collaboration with the government and the GDC also entails the provision of an insurance mechanism to address any contingencies that might happen for a geothermal plant that is operated for the first time.
The construction of a geothermal plant is to provide a more reliable and affordable source of energy to Dominicans. In this financial year, government allocated $40.5 million for the commencement of the geothermal plant. Now, imagine building a home in 10 days. No nails, no screws, no hammers. It's soundproof, hurricane-proof, earthquake-proof, bulletproof, and fireproof, all at a cheaper cost than your regular home. That is the solution that Dominican David Jones, a former senator who lives in the U.S. Virgin Islands, is presenting to Dominicans at an exhibition at the Dominica State College on Thursday evening.
And I think that Hurricane Maria presented a great opportunity for us to reset, reconsider, and approach reconstruction in a manner that, as the Prime Minister has articulated, that is resilient to climate change.
The kind of resilience that the M2 Baltra Advanced Building System using MDUE panels promises to deliver is just about complete. It is not an entirely new system though, as it was developed about 35 years ago. Jones believes it presents the best solution for the island's current aspiration.
I think the building codes that have been revised ensures building stronger for, in many instances, wind load. We also think that although we are in a hurricane belt, so to speak, we are also in a earthquake zone. So while we are contemplating strengthening buildings or various structures to withstand high wind load, we should also consider the incidence of preparing for an incident that may occur where earthquakes may be very devastating.
And Dominica is prone to earthquakes. In fact, the region is vulnerable to seismic activity. Jones says homes built using this system can withstand hurricane-force winds more than 200 miles per hour and can withstand earthquakes measuring up to 6.5 on the Richter scale.
Those buildings that were built utilizing that technology in the Virgin Islands, in Antigua, and in St. Martin survived without a scratch. So while we will be demonstrating laboratory tests to determine the resiliency of the technology that was utilized building buildings in real life, in real event situations, actually passed that real life event of Maria and Irma.
Jones explained that homes using this system are built using lightweight polystyrene panels encased in high-pressured galvanized steel and shot with 2 inches of reinforced concrete on either side of the panels.
The material is light. It's lighter than poured concrete, conventional concrete. It is insulated with polystyrene foam, and that is covered with high-stressed galvanized steel mesh, and then that is plastered with high-stressed concrete up to 12,000 psi.
The materials used for roofing is the same but lighter than the outer walls of the building. Jones was introduced to this type of building technology during his tenure as a senator in the U.S. Virgin Islands and says it is being used in more than 70 countries worldwide. Look out for the rebroadcasts of the demonstration of this new technology right here on GIS. And finally, this news time, Chairman of the Board of Directors of the National Bank of Dominica, Anthony John, has reaffirmed the bank's position in Dominica's financial market. The National Bank of Dominica this week kicked off its 40th anniversary celebrations with a number of activities that will span from March to December. Speaking at a press conference earlier this week, John lauded NBD's achievements over the years.
Today, NBD holds more than 60% of the local market share in both deposits and loans and advances, with 3 customer service locations, 139 dedicated employees, and the widest network of ATMs across the island. We serve over 45,000 personal banking customers and businesses, and some of which are amongst Dominica's largest and most successful companies. We are leaders in the local market and a credible player in the region.
He says this reflects the bank's ability to hold true to its mission to change the economic landscape of Dominica by making financial products and services more readily available to clients.
We have continued to uphold this mission by serving a vast number of Dominicans and are still playing our part in nation building. We created a space for ourselves in the financial industry in Dominica and the region, starting with traditional banking services in the very early years. And this was followed by enhancements to our product and service offerings in the 80s and expansion and innovation in the 90s and the 2000s.
Since the advent of Hurricane Maria, the bank is focusing on supporting customers to recover and rebuild while strengthening its own infrastructure and internal system. NBD has also committed to climate resiliency on a national level.
In the wake of Hurricane Maria, the government of Dominica has established the vision to make this country the first climate resilient country in the world. NBD is committed to playing its part. We must ensure that the bank itself is resilient by strengthening our systems collectively with the other players in the industry. Furthermore, we must assist our customers to become financially resilient and support the efforts to build back resilient communities.
A number of activities will commemorate the bank's 40th anniversary, including grand giveaways dubbed 40 Years, 40 Wins from March 12th to December 21st. Customers are eligible to win prizes to include flat-screen TVs, trips, and dinners for 2. March 15th marks the 40th anniversary of the bank first opening its doors to serve the Dominican public. And that's the English segment of the news. SHAAKIRA PIERRE is up next with Creole highlights.
Bienvenue à ce nouvel à Creole. Non, moi c'est SHAAKIRA PIERRE. Mardi, jeune Dominicain pour place sur un cahier parlement là pour Parlement jeunesse pour l'année 2018. Parlement jeunesse c'est une initiative hot Commonwealth Parliamentary Association là pour recogniser activités pour journée Commonwealth et puis ça qu'a fait étudiants parler contre ça qui a pour place à pays là. L'année ça là à Dominique étudiants parler contre sujet là, la Dominique a venu premier pays là en latin là qui s'appelle changement climatique. Premier ministre Honorable Dr. Roosevelt Skerrit qui était pour par un parlement jeunesse là était en l'école secondaire. C'est bien plaisir ces étudiants-là taper l'opportunité là pour ça parler contre un sujet qui est bien important à Dominique. Honorable Skerrit dit ces étudiants-là pour voir quoi comme monde qui devant bas pays. En tout 16 l'école pompa à Parlement jeunesse là. C'est l'école ça là, c'est State College Dominic, Dominica Grammar School, l'école secondaire Goodwill, Pierre Charles Secondary, l'école secondaire Guantas, Isaiah Thomas, l'école secondaire Castle Bruce et parmi d'autres. Ministre Social Services, Honorable Lady Catherine Daniel, a encouragé ces étudiants là pour servir expérience là pour jouer par eux en développement pays là. À d'autres nouvelles, il y a un projet qui bénéficie sud-l'est pays là à dégradé. Projet ça là, c'est pour réhabiliter 43,3 km qui a commencé à Pocasser pour finir à Petite Soufrière. Le gouvernement a dépensé presque 2 millions US dollars pour faire chemin ça là. Projet ça là qu'a fait en bas ministre santé là et puis par DVRP là. Your company Hot Spin, Technica, Proistos, SA, Tipsa, tapé contrat là pour mettre des salaires en place pour projet ça là. Et puis ça c'est le premier projet yo a fait à Dominica. Tipsa établi 50 l'année qui passe et puis yoni plus que 2500 moun qui travaillent ba yo à 40 différents pays où on la là. Officier à ministre santé Dr. Martin Christmas représenté ministre santé Honorable Dr. Kenneth Daru en conférence média là qui te prend place l'année semaine ça là. Dr. Christmas dit ça c'est pour chaîne et puis objectif DVRP pour baisser des désastres par investissement en infrastructure qui s'apprend changement climatique. De celle-là qu'a fait et puis mitigation et puis mise adaptation. Projet là supposé fait en 11 mois et puis qui bénéficie moun qui a resté en village en sud-l'est pays là. Pour ça, Permanent Secretary and Ministre Planning Gloria Joseph dit ministre la bien content pour projet ça là, yon qui a même manœuvre gouvernement qu'a fait pour bâtir meilleur et puis plus fort. Medina Alfonso, chef projet Tipsa, dit il bien plaisir pour taper opportunité ça là pour travailler à ce projet là. Il dit compagnie là qu'a gardé pour travailler et puis contracteur local à ce projet là. Alfonso dit quand cyclone Maria passé, il a un bon portrait comment chimel là en ses places ça la cahier. Il dit compagnie là qu'a fait 7 et yo bâti pont et puis chimel qui s'apprend changement climatique. Yo visite un placement là qu'a prend place pour voir comment yo calé faire travail là. Et puis finalement, chef board Banque Nationale Dominique parle contre position banque là sur la place financière Dominique. Banque Nationale Dominique semaine ça là qu'a célébré 4e anniversaire et puis numéro activité qui a prend place hors mars pour décembre. Pendant une conférence média commencement semaine là, Anthony John parle contre achievement banque là. John dit NBD qu'a achevé 60% en la place là en loan et puis deposit. Il dit NBD qu'a employé 139 moun en 3 officiers là yo qu'a fait opération. NBD ni plus que 45 clients yo qu'a fait service bay. Chef board la dit banque la ni habilité là pour doubout et puis mission là pour changer l'économie Dominique par effort là pour faire produits financiers et puis services plus available à clients. Après cyclone Maria, banque la qu'a supporter clients pour bâtir meilleur. NBD aussi fait commitment pour vision là pour faire Dominique premier pays là qui s'apprend changement climatique. Ça c'est tout pour nouvelle à Creole. Non, moi c'est SHAAKIRA PIERRE. Au revoir.
In today's tip, architect John Spears, who has designed sustainable communities in South Africa, China, and other parts of the world, gives a new perspective on climate resiliency, an idea that describes how resiliency is about working with nature.
It used to be back before we had technology, before we had cars, before we had power plants, that communities were sustainable. They were basically based in nature, and nature defined how things were done, and they were sustainable. We were part of nature and grew with nature. Later, I had the opportunity to work with the Ministry of Science and Technology in China to build model sustainable villages in China. And the first focus was to actually discuss the nature of the environment that they were living in and help the people understand how they fit in nature. They were not separate from nature, they were part of nature. And this is where I think we've gone off the rails in modern societies. We've forgotten that we are nature. It's not us and nature and this competition between us. We are nature. And therefore, how do we plug back in and understand? One of the things that struck me coming in was all the trees that were destroyed. Well, they weren't destroyed. You notice there's life still there, and they're starting to come back. They are resilient, right? They sway in the wind and give, and then when the wind is over, they start to come back and grow again. And that will happen, and that will be part of the natural cycle, and so will the people of this country.
And that's all for this edition of National Focus. Be sure to follow GIS on facebook.com/GIS News Dominica, and also follow us on Twitter @GIS Dominica. You can also catch up on past National Focus newscasts on our GIS Dominica YouTube channel. From all of us here on the GIS News production team, I'm KIMANI. Thank you for watching.